Oh, let me get the questions. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Today we're going to answer your fitness questions that y'all left on the story today. My hair looks crazy. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's happening. Okay. Hey. Let's see if I can, how do I find them? Okay. I think I got it. Somebody wrote for a question, meal prepping. That's not a question. I don't know what that means. So you got to ask a full sentences and ask an actual. I don't have on underwear, so don't be looking. What comes first, burn fat or build muscle? Or can they both be done simultaneously? That's a good question. So when you first, especially if your body fat percentage is pretty high, when you first start training, you will be able to burn fat and to gain some muscle at the same time. Because especially if you go from like a sedentary lifestyle, you're not being very active, and you're not active, and your diet is really bad. So when you first start training, obviously the weight's going to start falling off of you. So you're going to get the most results, your most like drastic results right there in the beginning, because you're being more active, so you're burning more calories and you're eating better. So you're automatically just going to get results just from that. Okay, you're automatically get the results just off the top. But then what happens is that you're going to start to plateau. As your body gets used to the routine, as your body gets used to the better diet, as your body gets used to training and things, you're going to start to plateau. And then you have to make a choice, you know what I'm saying? Am I trying to put on muscle right now? Am I trying to bulk? Or am I trying to cut right now? If you're trying to cut, you have to switch to a caloric deficit. While in a caloric deficit, you're not going to be able to put on muscle because your body needs those extra calories in order to build muscle. So if your maintenance level, everybody has a caloric maintenance level. So that basically means for your body to function every single day, just to function, just to stay alive, I need to consume 2,100 calories a day just for me to be alive. Because, you burn calories when you sleep, you burn calories when you walk, you burn calories in everything you're doing. You burn calories when you breathe. You're burning calories all day long, but they're minimal, but you're burning calories, you know what I'm saying? So if you need 2,100 calories just to get by on a daily basis, then what your caloric deficit or surplus is going to be above or below that. So in order for you to put on muscle, you need to be over your caloric maintenance level for you to survive. So your body is going to use up, my body is going to use up 2,100 calories a day regardless of what I do. But if I'm not consuming more than that, then I'm not going to be able to put on muscle. And then if I want to lose weight, I need to be consuming less than my daily maintenance level for my body to lose weight. But I'm going to stay the exact same weight. If all I ever consume each day and every day is 2,100 calories, I'm going to stay the same weight. And then, so yeah, that's how that works. And you have to remember there's 3,500 calories in 1 pound of fat. So in order to lose 1 to 2 pounds of fat a week, you need to burn 3,500 calories for that week. It's going to be impossible to burn 3,500 calories in one day because you have to eat. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I guess you could starve yourself, but that's not very smart. But then your body's going to go, it's going to shut down your metabolism. Your body's going to go into a totally different process, and your body's going to hold on to your fat when it thinks it's starving. So you don't want to do that either. Starving yourself is not the answer to losing weight either. So what you want to do is be in a caloric deficit each day. So if you're in a 500 calorie caloric deficit every day, it's going to take 7 days for you to burn 3,500 calories. So that means you will lose 1 to 2 pounds that week, which means you can lose between 4 and 8 pounds of pure fat a month. If you're doing just that, if you're just in a 500 calorie caloric deficit, you can be in a lower caloric deficit if you would like to, but that's a good way to start. So if you're starting off, I would start off, take whatever your daily maintenance level is and subtract 500 calories from it, and that's what you need to consume every single day. I don't know where Raven is. Yeah, Raven, you have to send a request, mama. So yeah, you have to consume that every single day in order to Now, and then that's what people always ask. Oh, do I get a cheat meal, or do I get to do this, that, and the other? So many people are like, so do I get a cheat meal, or do I get this, or do I get that? But the thing is, what happens, especially if your body is not used to weight loss and everything like that, and you have so much body fat, you know what I'm saying? So you do good the first 2 days. The first day you're in a 500 calorie caloric deficit. The second day you're in a 500 calorie caloric deficit. So that means you burn 1,000 calories for that week to get to that 3,500 calories to lose 1 or 2 pounds. But let's say the next day you go over your caloric deficit. So now you done set yourself back. So that 1,000 calories that you had, you done set yourself back to 500. You know what I'm saying? So you're not going to get to your 1 to 2 pounds that week. And then people wonder why they don't lose any weight, because they don't understand. They think that they really can just train it off. You can burn some calories training and stuff, but no amount of training is going to override your diet. If you're not in a caloric deficit, there's nothing you can do. There's a light right there. I have my studio light is right there, so I look lighter. How do you know what your caloric deficit is? So there's so anybody who's on my program or whatever, I have a formula for my macro calculator. There's a lot of different formulas. I'm very specific about my formula, and that's why I want my clients to use my macro calculator, because I set it to certain settings or whatever, so that y'all can get the right caloric intake or whatever. But you just Google macro calculator and then put in the information that it's asking for. There's actually a formula too. I can do both. I can do a macro calculator, or I can do it longhand as well, because I know how to do the math. But you put there you are. Raven, you have to send the request. No, I don't see it, babe. Okay, now I just see it. So what you do is Google a macro calculator, get the macro calculator, and then put in your body stat information. It's going to probably ask for your height, your weight. Hey, Raven.
Hi, babe.
So it's so once you find your macro calculator, put in your height, you're gonna put in your weight. Might ask you for your body fat percentage. Now, the most important part about a macro calculator is the activity level. That's the most important part. And what a lot of people do, and which those are calorie results of, is that they overstate. So people might work out one day a week, or work out 1 day a week, or 3 days 1 week, and then they work out 1 day the next week, and maybe none the next week, and then work out 3. But they'll go on the macro calculator and say that they work out 3 times a week. If you don't work out 3 times a week, don't put that, because that's the macro calculator is going to think that you're more active than you really are. So it's going to set your calories higher, because it's going to think that you need more calories to maintain. But that's not the truth. If you're only working out 1 day a week here and there, take the average of what you think you work out. If you really don't work out that much, tell it that, so that it puts your calorie intake a little lower, so you can actually lose weight. But what a lot of people do is overstate their activity level, and that's the most important part. Do not overstate your activity level. If you don't work out that damn much, you don't work out. Like me, if I was to put my stuff in that macro calculator, I'm not even considered athletic in a macro calculator. I'm considered like moderate, because I only work out 2 or 3 times a week. You know what I'm saying? An athletic person, to be considered athletic. What, baby girl?
Working every fucking day.
You have to work out every fucking day, 6-7 times a week, and it's hard work. And also people like they consider people like construction workers are considered more athletic on a macro calculator, because you're constantly picking up stuff and moving every single day of the week and doing stuff like that. So they actually consider people who are in really high intensity type jobs, those are considered athletic people. Me, I work on a computer most of the day. I'm sitting down most of the day, and I might work out 2 or 3 times a week. My activity level is not really athletic. You know what I'm saying? I'm not in the athletic zone, even though I am a trainer. But I'm sitting there watching people train. I'm not necessarily training, so I'm not doing that much. Hey, Raby.
What's up, y'all?
So next question is, what's the best exercise to grow your glutes at home? That's from Shannon. Some I don't know where.
Well, I like
SAMLAL. Samal. What
y'all
is
see what's on my plate.
What, babe?
I'm showing you what's on my plate. They talking about I'm eating.
Is it that heavy?
I got ground bison, corn, and quinoa.
Amazing.
I love corn.
That's good. What's the best exercise to grow your glutes at home using weight? What's OFC mean?
Of course.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
Best exercise to use using weight to grow your glutes at. Is that my vagina?
I like glute bridges.
So yeah, glute bridges are great, but most people do glute bridges wrong, and that's your problem. So what I see a lot of girls doing in the gym, and especially the bikini girls, so you're always the bikini competitors, they go and throw like 315 on the damn thing, and they just think they're doing something, going at it and stuff like that. But if you're not holding that contraction for 1 to 2 seconds at the top and squeezing, you're not doing shit. Just pumping and doing and going so fast through the reps and stuff, that's not where it's at. You go throw fucking 135 on there and you do it right, 165 on there and you do it right, that shit will be burning. You should be able to do 300 and something pounds if you're doing it correctly. But what I see is a lot of people trying to ego lift, show off and all this other stuff, and they're throwing all this weight up there, and it's not impressive to me. I really just roll my eyes when I see it, honestly.
And really, honestly and truly, they get more workout putting all that damn weight on the bar than they do actually doing the damn hip thrust.
They really do, and it's not working their damn glutes. So you need to, when you're doing your glute bridges, you need to come down and then come up, come to a full parallel. So your body should be parallel to the floor. Your knee should be at 90-degree angle. Hold 1, 2, come down, up, 1, 2, come down. You need to be locking up, and a lot of people are not locking up.
Mm-hmm. A lot of times the people that I even see doing that stuff, they don't be having no glute development, and for that specific reason,
None
they
at
don't
all.
target their glutes.
Right, none at all. And then the other part about glute training too is that you can't just do one exercise. So people I've had girls DM me like, Nay, there's one girl, it was ridiculous though. She DM'd me, she said, Nay, I wake up every morning, I do 20 squats every morning, and I don't understand why my butt's not growing. Well, doing 20 body weight squats every morning is not going to do shit for you, first of all. You have to understand, you carry around your body weight. I'm 170 pounds. I carry around 170 pounds all day, every day. My body is not stressed by that. My body can handle 170 pounds. That's not a problem. You know what I'm saying? If you're not adding any extra weight to that, you're not stressing the muscle. The muscle must be stressed to grow. A muscle does not grow without stress. That's why body weight exercises don't work. That's why doing those bands that weigh 5, 10, 15 pounds, that doesn't work. For me, bands is not something like, if you're trying to gain muscle, bands are cool or great, but it's not a muscle gain thing. Bands are to be used in addition to weights. If you're trying to actually put on some size or some muscle, it's not something that can stand alone. There's not enough resistance behind it for it to stand on its own. You have to use it in addition. Next question is, what you think about GTV? What's GTV?
I don't know what that is either.
No, I'm sorry. GBT. What is GBT?
I never heard of it.
I don't know what that is. Anybody on here know what GBT? Will bands work for toning? Okay, so your question about toning. Y'all have to understand what the word toning means. All toning means is that you lost some body fat. That's all toning means. Toning is not muscle building. So basically, you take a person and they have some body fat, so they're not. So you look at me, I'm lean. So you see how you can see my shoulder caps and you can see my biceps. You can actually see the muscle. You see that line right there. That's the separation of my muscle. If I had more body fat, you wouldn't be able to see that. So that means I'm just training and I'm losing body fat, not necessarily building muscle, losing body fat, and my muscles are now more visible. That's what toning means. That's all it means, is that you're losing body fat. And you lose body fat through your diet. So using bands, using dumbbells, using whatever you're using, it doesn't matter what you're using because you're losing fat through your diet anyways. So using bands, it's great. It's a great tool. It's a great addition or whatever, but it's not going to get rid of your fat.
I mean, most of the people that, even both of us, we ain't get our body by using resistance bands all the time.
No, my body did not come from resistance bands, point blank period. I like them in addition to things and stuff, but okay, German volume training. Okay, I know what German volume training is. I just never used it as a acronym or whatever. Okay, GBT. What you think about GBT? It's one of the training tools that I use. 100 squats, 10 sets of 10. Yeah, I like it, but it's just one training, tool. It's not something you can do every day, and it's not something that's it's just one thing that you can do in addition to many, many, many different training techniques. So, I mean, it's cool. I mean, I think it helps you, one, increase your max, and I think it does help increase your strength and things like that for sure.
I didn't even know that was what that was called.
Mm-hmm. German volume training, yeah. It's a technique. Do you lift heavy or light to get those arms? I don't train upper body at all. I've been training my upper body since 2017 personally. When I did train, I only trained my upper body once a month. Once a month, because my arms, well, first of all, I'm naturally lean. My upper body is just naturally lean anyways. So the more I would train it, I'm just going to put on more muscle. So if you want to get bigger muscles, then you train heavier. If you want to train more on like a cardio type way, then you're going to train a lighter weight, higher rep range. So for me personally, my arms aren't big. They're just lean. So they look more muscular than they are just because I don't have a lot of body fat. But my arms aren't big. They're just toned because there's no body fat there.
Yeah, I was hungry. Shit, I've been at work all day.
My band tore on the door. Can you show the band you use for lats? It's just a long resistance band.
It's called a pull up assistance band.
Yeah, it's just a long fucking resistance band. You can get them anywhere. Well, right now, actually, you probably can't because a lot of them are sold out. But you can even use the bands, the long bands that have usually have the handles on the end. Just take the handles off, or don't, and just stick it on your door. But it doesn't matter. It's just a long band. Nothing special about it. Walking versus elliptical. You didn't ask a question. I don't know what walking versus elliptical is supposed to mean. Y'all gotta ask actual questions.
The elliptical is that machine that does this, right? Or it's the Stairmaster.
No, the one that looks like you're like moonwalking in the air.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do stretch marks bother you? I have some, and it bothers me. I have a baby, so for me, stretch marks are just a part of life. But my stretch marks aren't like really visible like that. I mean, Raven seen me naked a million times. Most people wouldn't even know I had stretch marks unless you got like all up on me and stuff. Mine kind of blended with my skin complexion, so.
I was about to say that you got pretty even skin tone. Like unless you like all up on you, you're not gonna know you got stretch marks. Baby that said, other than proper diet and nutrition, what are some suggestions for losing overall body fat and still tone at the same time? You gotta listen, cause like
I didn't
Nate
hear the
said
question.
before, her name
Actual
is
question.
at journey2_white coat. You see her in the comments?
Oh, I thought you were reading the question.
I can't see her questions.
She
said, other than the proper diet and nutrition, what are some suggestions for losing overall body fat and still tone at the same time? But like Nate
that's
said
the answer is proper diet and nutrition. You just said the answer.
And if you want to lose body fat, it's all in the diet.
It's your diet. The thing, I've been explaining it to him. Me, I need 2,100 calories a day to maintain my weight. If I eat less than 2,100 calories, I'm going to lose weight. If I eat more than 2,100 calories a day, I'm going to gain weight. Period. That's how that works. So if you want to lose body fat, you have to eat less than whatever your caloric maintenance level is, which is why a macro calculator is important. You have to put your information in a macro calculator. You need to know it's going to be dependent on your height, weight, body fat percentage, activity level, all those things. Once you know what your caloric maintenance level is to maintain your weight every day based off the level of activity you do every day, that's the problem people don't understand. If this includes your activity, that's why diet is so important, because your caloric maintenance level, that's going to include your activity. So that's how much you burn every day being as active as you are. If you work out 6 times a week, that's included in your daily maintenance level. This is your daily maintenance. You have a maintenance level for just sitting there breathing and just being regular, and then you have the total daily TDEE, total daily energy or exercise expenditure or whatever, and that's how much you burn. That's how much your normal life. That's how much you burn with your including your workouts. So that's already your baseline. So once you take your baseline based off your activity level, you need to add or subtract based on what you're trying to do.
And the one that keeps asking about being pescatarian, what's the best workout regimen for someone who's pescatarian? We can't really tell you what would be the best workout regimen for you if, one, we don't know your goal, and two, we don't know your macros. Just because you telling us you only eat fish as your only meat substitute, we don't know how much protein you're getting, how much fat you're getting, what type of fish. Like, that's too vague of a question. But I see that you keep commenting on it, so I just want to stop
ignoring. And at the end of the day, it goes back to what I just said. If your maintenance level is 2,000 calories a day, and when you put your stuff in a macro calculator, it's going to tell you, okay, you need to, so say you increase and you want to gain muscle, you increase your caloric intake by 500 calories. The macro calculator is going to break down how many proteins, carbs, and fats you need to have a day in order to reach your goal of muscle gaining. If it tells you that you need to be eating 170 grams of carbs, of protein a day, then it doesn't matter if you're pescatarian. It doesn't matter if you're vegetarian. It doesn't matter if you eat booty for a living. You just need to make sure you eat 170 grams of booty a day to get to where you need to go, because that's what it told you to do.
But somebody had show said you was being too complicated. I was like, there you go. Now all y'all eat ass, so y'all know what she was saying.
Yeah. The point is that you need to eat a certain amount of protein in order for you to gain. So it doesn't matter what the protein is eating. Now you're going to do the process is going to be a lot faster if you're eating a heavier protein like a beef or a bison or chickens, turkey, and stuff like that. Yes, because those have has more protein in it, but it's a heavier protein. So if you're going to eat fish, you just have to eat a whole hell of a lot more fish in order to accomplish your goal. Mm-hmm. So if you need to have 770 grams of protein a day, what the standard is one to put on muscle and stuff is 1 gram equivalent to your weight. So I'm 170 pounds. I would eat 170 grams of protein a day if I wanted to put on muscle. But it's really a range between 0.8 and 1.4 grams. So if you see that eating the equivalency of your body weight, I'm 170 pounds, I eat 170 grams a day, you see that it's not really working for you, you're not, gaining, then take that number and multiply it by 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, one of those, and then try that. But it's a numbers game. You have to play with your numbers. You can't expect it just to get it right the first time. Even if the macro calculator does tell you, you still have to play with your numbers, see what works better for you. Sometimes you might have to take your carbs down a little bit more, and if you notice you're getting a little bit too much fat, or you might have to change your fats if you notice that you're getting sleepy and things like that, and you're not responding or you don't feel good and stuff. It's going to be based off your diet. So you do have to play with the numbers a little bit, but that gives you a nice baseline for where you should go, up or down. Don't play with your numbers in a big way, just little increments, because a little bit goes a long way when it comes to your diet.
Somebody said, how much weight do you need to lift to gain like over 100? Give me a range.
I don't understand the question.
She's basically saying how much weight she needs to lift to gain weight. She's trying to gain weight, so she needs
to gain weight. Okay, so that has nothing to do. There's no magic number out there. Mm-hmm. If you're 5 foot and you weigh 120 pounds, and I'm 5'4" and I weigh 170 pounds, we ain't going to lift the same amount of weight to get to the same goal. I'm bigger than you. So that means since I'm bigger than you, my body and my muscles are going to take more stress than your muscles in order to get there. So there's not like some magic number I can spit out like you need to be squatting 150 pounds and then you'll gain muscle. That's not how that works. Okay. That's not how any of this works. It's called hypertrophy. You either have rep range. You have a strength training rep range. That's between 1 and 3 reps. That's at 95 85 to like 95, 100% of your max. You know what I'm saying? That means you're only doing one. So that means if it's your sets and you're doing deadlifts and you're trying to just train for strength, you're just trying to get stronger, you would only be doing 1 to 3 reps each set. And whatever your max is, so say my max is 415. That means each set I would be having to lift around, 390 to like 405, 410. That's going to make me stronger because each time I'm lifting almost my max. That's going to increase my strength. Now, hypertrophy is a different rep range. Hypertrophy is between 8 to 12 reps. And that's going to be at 75 to 85% of your max. So you take your max, you have to find a day to max out, or you need to know what your max is, your 1 rep max. The heaviest you can lift for 1 rep, that is your max. My squat max is 405. So that means that if I was trying to gain muscle, I would need to be lifting between like 340, to be 75, 340 and 370, something like that. Between 340 and like 370 would be my rep, would be my weight range. I would need to be lifting that in order for 8 to 12 reps each set in order for me to put on muscle. So that's why I keep telling y'all when you see me lifting and working out my Instagram videos, I'm not training to put on muscle, clearly, because I'm over using a 15, 25-pound kettlebell. That's not even close to enough weight for me. And that's why we're always telling you home workouts is not going to put muscle on your body like you think it is or like you want it to. That's not even close to my max. That's not even close to enough weight for my muscles to even be tickled. It's not even tickling my asshole, okay, y'all? Period.
And that's why all the fucking gym rats was crying when the gym was closed.
That's why
do home workouts. Do homework is not the same. You'll fuck around and lose all your mass.
All your gains, all your mass. Because that shit'll go quick if you just sitting around not stressing the muscle or challenging yourself. Me, I haven't challenged myself since Corona shit began because I don't even have enough weight in my house to do so. For me to really get in there and challenge myself, I would need way more plates. I would need over I usually warm up at 225 with my deadlifts. I can't get anywhere near that here. You know what I'm saying? And I can feel myself getting weaker every day trying to play around with these little things. So, you know what I'm saying? It's totally different. So if you find out your squat max is 135, that's the most you can do for 1 rep. That means if your squat max is 135, that means you need to be training. That means you need to be, so every single time you squat, that means you need to be at 101 pounds to your weight range needs to be around 100 pounds to 115 pounds. That's what you need to be squatting. So if you're in there squatting 30, 40, 50 pounds, you're not squatting enough to put on any muscle. If your 1 rep max is 135, that means every time you squat in the gym, you need to be working between 100 and 115 pounds. That's your working range. That's the range you need to work in to hypertrophy. Hypertrophy means muscle gains.
And I'm trying to tell you, you know when you challenging yourself and when you're not.
You should know. And okay, so if you don't know how to max out, if you don't have time or you don't, none of that shit, the best way to know what your rep range should be. So if hypertrophy is 8 to 12 reps and you're lifting, but by the time you get to the 12th rep, you're just going, breezing through it. That means the weight's not heavy enough. It's not even close to heavy enough because if you can pass 12 reps with a breeze, that means you need to go and put some more weight on the bar. So the way I know I'm not lifting heavy enough and I need to change what I'm doing is that by the time I get to 8 reps, I'm deadlifting or whatever. So I'm deadlifting. Whoop, whoop. I'm down here. I'm like, okay, 8. I should be like 9. 10.
Exactly.
Especially if you're on your second, third, I usually do like 4 sets. If you're on your second, third set, by the time you get to your 8th, 9th rep, you should be fucking shaking. You should be struggling to get the 12th rep. That means you're lifting the right amount of weight. That means it's heavy enough. And that means you're in the right rep range. But if you're breezing through it, or another thing, you might be lifting too damn heavy too. If you can't get to the damn 8th rep, take some weight off the bar. Quit ego lifting. You're lifting way too heavy. And you're not going to get the results you want either. You're going to get stronger, but you're not going to your muscles ain't going to grow because you're not doing enough. Because the thing is, time under tension equals growth. So if you're lifting super, super heavy, but you're not doing it for enough time, you're not getting to 8 to 12 reps, your body's not really processing that like that. So you're going to be explosive and powerful, but your muscle, you haven't given your muscle enough time to grow, to take that process and utilize it, to open those muscle fibers and for your body to be like, let's go. You know what I'm saying? So it's a totally different thing. So there's ways to fuck it up, which I see on Instagram all day long, people fucking it up, saying, oh yeah, booty gains, da-da-da. But they're doing donkey kicks and leg kicks with no weight and stuff like that. And they're trying to convince me that that's how they grew that booty that they bought at the doctor. Get the fuck out of here. Like these Build-A-Bears and stuff on Instagram, like I can't. Don't let these girls lie to you.
Yeah. Y'all be, a lot of y'all on this app let people say y'all anything for real though.
Don't fall for the cap.
Y'all gotta do research. Just like y'all research before y'all buy a car, before y'all buy a house. Do your research on these people that you investing your time and money in.
Yep. What's a good home exercise to lose side fat and lower abdomen? Diet. There is no exercise. I wish I had a piece of paper or something like that. So you have to understand.
Diet. Just say diet. Keep it going.
The thing is, you look at your body. You have your skin. You got your epidermis. You got your dermis. You got your subcutaneous level. Then you got your fat tissue. And then you have muscle. So the muscle is down here over your organs and your bones and shit under there. So you have your muscle, and then you got a layer of fat under it. Some people's fat's like this. Some people's fat's way out here like this. Doing a sit-up, crunch, 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 is working your muscle. It's not crunching your fat. And even if it was, it's not going to make it go anywhere.
Exactly, because you can't spot reduce. You can't control where your body decides to pull fat.
You cannot. The only thing your lifting weights does, it doesn't get rid of fat. Your crunching doesn't get rid of fat. None of it's getting rid of the fat that's covering your abs. You're just strengthening the muscle underneath your fat. So you're going to have some really strong abs, but the fat's still going to be there if you're still overeating every single day. But you will have strong muscles. Great. But it's not going to get rid of the fat that's on top of it. You have to be in a caloric deficit to get rid of fat. Doing no crunch, ab exercise, none of those things is going to get rid of the fat on top of your abs. You have to be in a caloric deficit. That's the only way. Now, your exercises contribute to the amount of calories you burn for the day. That's going to help contribute to the calories you burn for the day. But there's no way to exercise you can't out-exercise a bad diet. Period. You can't out-exercise. So even if you might have burned like 300-400 calories or whatever that day, if you go and eat 1,000 calories over your caloric maintenance level, the 300-400 calories you burned that day, they didn't really do shit, did it? It didn't really do nothing for you. How many times a week how many times at the week you train your glutes? And I think she meant out. How many times out of the week do you train your glutes? And what's the best exercise for you? So I think that any muscle you want to grow, you need to train at least twice a week. If you overtrain, though, it can lead to muscle breakdown, catabolism, and you don't want to do that. So twice a week is enough if you're weight training. Now, if you're just jumping around doing cardio and shit and train them as much as you want, they're not going to grow, but do it.
Full body all day.
Right, full body all day. But if you actually want your muscles to grow, you need to train your glutes twice a week to good, thorough, hard days with the appropriate amount of weight in your hypertrophy rep range. If you're just sitting there, body weight hump in the air and all that stuff, then I mean, your glutes aren't growing.
A
So
lot of
it
y'all
doesn't really
problem,
matter how many times you train a week.
a lot of y'all problem is y'all try to half-ass the process, which is why a lot of these diet fasts and stuff, like, they really make a lot of money, because everybody's like they like quick things. Instagram is quick, buying quick, TikTok quick. Everybody likes things that are quick, short, to the point. You want to half-ass the process, and this lazy shit ain't gonna get you nowhere in the fitness industry. It's not. That's why a lot of the people that go like do big in the fitness industry are people that had surgery, because y'all want to know how you got from point A to point B so fast. They had surgery. I'm sorry to admit it to you, and they be telling y'all, oh, my body really blah blah blah. You fall for it because you want somebody to convince you that you can half-ass this process and get to the goal that you're trying to get to, and you can. It's just not happening. Like, you got to do the numbers. You got to calculate those macros. You got to calculate your rep range. You got to calculate what weight you need to do. You have to do it if you want to get to the goal. Like, nobody in history that was successful half-assed their process. It's a process.
Nothing worth having comes quick, period. And that's the problem. People are like, I've been trying for so long to get in shape, but I don't see any result. That's because they never stick to the process for long enough to see the results. They never ever sit down and do it correctly either. They do good on their diet 1, 2, 3 days. Day 4, they're like, oh, okay, I'm going to have a cheat meal, and don't understand why having that cheat meal, that one meal that was 2,000 calories, set you back for 2 weeks. Yeah, it's going to set you back. Because you done went over, you done ate up all the damn calories that you were doing good with, that you were under your caloric, intake for the day. You done went over that and then surpassed it. You know what I'm saying? And nothing good does come quickly. It's going to take time. And the thing about it is, you don't got to measure your food every single time. You don't have to calculate your macros every day. These things that we're telling you to do, these are things you're going to do in the beginning. Maybe the first month of your training, so that you can learn the process and you can learn what to do and learn what it looks like. I don't have to measure my food anymore because I know what 5 ounces of protein looks like. It looks like about the palm of your hand. It's about 5 ounces. Mm-hmm. You can eyeball it after a certain point, but you just have to get there first.
Exactly.
And pay attention to your body. If you know that every single time you drink milk, you bloat, you're allergic to lactose, and dairy is a natural inflammatory. So most people do bloat when they have dairy. And if you want to lose weight, cut it out your diet. But some people, I love it so much, I can't cut it out. But you can, because you're an adult and you have willpower.
I don't think humans were ever supposed to drink other animals' milk anyway. So this is interesting to me.
I don't think so either. It's terrible. Oh, dairy makes me
like, would you suck on a cow? Would you?
Who told you to go suck on a cow udder?
Like,
who told you to do that?
Who was the first person to do that? I just want to know. Like,
who told you? That's funny as shit, though. I really want to know that. I guess that's
disgusting.
They probably looked at a woman and said a woman's titty milk is for babies, and they were like, let's go suck on that cow and see what happens.
And then these motherfuckers had the idea to just give that to all the damn public school children all their life. Like, we really drink milk in school all our life. That's with every meal. Like, can you imagine drinking milk with a steak? That's really how they was doing this.
That's a whole cow. You got the milk, you got the meat.
Exactly.
Just from the rooted to the tooted. You got the whole damn cow. No, I'm good. I don't mess with milk. Period.
It's just too many alternatives for you to still be drinking dairy out here. Like, you got almond milk, cashew milk, soy milk.
I don't drink none of it.
I like almond milk.
I don't deal with none of it.
With my cereal.
Do you drink protein powder? If so, which one? I personally do not.
I like I don't drink powders, but I do like Ensure.
Okay.
They're little. I drink them.
No replacement.
Yeah, like I drink them on my breaks just because, like, at Target they be working the shit out of me, and like I only be having 15-minute breaks, and it's like I tell people all the time that I be working so much, how I'm supposed to meet my macros and stuff like that, bro. Mm-hmm. You gonna have to find out how to do it. So like, if you gotta drink your protein, drink it. Cause a lot of times I don't be prepping like I'm supposed to, And if I'm not prepping like I'm supposed to, Lord knows it's telling you like I'm probably not finna make no protein shake or smoothie either. Right. So I keep buying like a little Ensure protein shake. You know, they got the max protein if you really, really like been struggling to get your protein. But like I really like Ensure. I've tried the great value versions. It just ain't the same. Like it be having like
it's
clumps.
chalky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be good, but Ensure is like nice, smooth taste. It's doable. It doesn't taste like protein, if that makes sense. Like you know how you get shit that really tastes like protein bars. But Ensure is pretty good to me.
And that's what I tell my clients, for the ones who do live faster lifestyles, who are on the go a lot, or for people who have poor appetites. Like some people just don't have the appetite. A lot of that's due to them not training too, because once you start training, your appetite is going to increase.
Yeah.
When that metabolism kick in, you're going to start being hungry all the damn time. But that's due to low activity level, and that's due to like some people just have poor appetites. But if you're one of those people who can't eat 4 or 5 meals a day, supplement, and that's all protein powder is. Like this one lady tried to argue with me. They're like, "There's no way you have that much muscle and you don't take protein shakes." I'm like, "Do you know what protein is? Exactly. Your protein's in your food. Like and common sense will tell you that." So I don't need to take a protein shake. All a protein shake is a supplement. That means I can't get this food. I can't get to this food, or I'm not getting enough protein in my food every day. So now I'm going to supplement what I'm not able to get with a shake. That's all it is a powder form of what you already should be eating. It's a supplement. It's not a must-have.
I've never used the powder. I never used the protein powder. I don't know. It just wasn't for me. I hate how they taste. I'm not with the whole shake concoction thing.
I don't like them either. Yeah. What's the name of that one company? Now a lot of companies have sent me products and stuff like that, so I've like tasted them or whatever. And this one company,
and for the price, it's just like
like it ain't worth it.
And it probably just sit in my kitchen too, because I'm not gonna drink it. I'd rather just eat my protein for real.
I've never finished a whole thing of protein powder. I might have tried one shake just to see what it tastes like, but I've never once finished a jar of protein in my whole life. I can't shake this 240 mainly around my waist. What do you recommend? Diet.
240? 240.
The answer is diet. Any question that has to do with weight loss, your answer is diet. You need to figure out what your macro intake should be. And a lot of calculators have an option where you can put in your goal. So if you put weight or fat loss, then it's going to calculate your maintenance level, and then it's going to calculate what your caloric intake should be for you to lose weight. But if it doesn't, if it just gives you whatever your maintenance level is, then subtract 500 calories from it to start, and that's what you should be consuming a day to lose 1 to 2 pounds a week. Because 3,500 calories is 1 pound of fat.
Somebody asked what macro calculator. Like literally, there's so many macro.
There's a million. Google macro calculator.
Yeah, just Google it. I know they was like MyFitnessPal. MyFitnessPal is good too. But it's a whole app. Like if you just trying to do something quick, just Google it.
Yep. Or join my program, because I have one. I have my own formula for my macro calculator. So my clients follow my formula, the formula that I know works. Because there are a lot of formulas out there, but I have a specific one that I think is the best one. And there's a macro calculator on my page. You can't access it until you join the program, but once you do, you put your information in, and then it also gives you the option to pick your goal, and then it will tell you what your caloric intake should be for whatever your goal is, and then it's going to break down your fats, carbs, and proteins. It gives you all that information. And all you got to do is look at the meal plan and eat according to that. All you need is a food scale, which I have one over there. You use the food scale, put your food on there. So let's say you eat 5 meals a day or whatever. So say I'm supposed to have 200 grams of protein a day, but I eat 5 meals a day. That means if the smart way to do it is to break each meal down. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm going to eat 5 meals today, I know I need 200 grams of protein for my day. That means each meal should have 40 grams of protein in it. Easy. And do the same thing for your carbs and do the same things for your fats. If you know you're supposed to have this much, divide it by however many meals you get that day and put that much in each one of your meal prep containers. So now you know in this meal prep container, I got 40 grams of protein in it. I got this many grams of carbs and I got this many. Eat your food. Next time it's time to eat, next 2-3 hours, because you should be eating every 2-3 hours, You know, you got 40 grams here, blah, blah, blah. You can't fuck it up because you already broke it down, measured it out. It's easy. And then people are like, this one lady, God help her, really got on my nerves the other day. She DM'd me and she wanted me to train her. And then she says that, you know, she travels a lot. She's always on the road and stuff. She told me that I need to make her meal plan according to what city she's in. I need to research the restaurants of the city she's going to be in and find out what food she can eat at those restaurants of the city she's in. Bitch, what the fuck do I look like? You want me, oh, today I'm going to be in Charlotte, so I'm supposed to look for the restaurants in Charlotte, find out what restaurants in Charlotte, and then figure out what food you should eat. That is a full-time job, keeping up with your schedule. I'm not doing that because that's not how that works. I said, I don't even feel like a good trainer by trying to give you recommendations of restaurants to eat at.
You'll be handicapping her, though, because that's like a crush.
Exactly. And I refuse to enable somebody like that. I told her, you need to meal prep. Meal prepping is the best. I said, she's like, well, my hotel room doesn't have a stove or this, that, and other. Well, you could get one that does, or you can get an air fryer, or you can get this, that, and other. But she refused to take that option. She just said, no, I'm not getting an air fryer. I'm going to eat at restaurants. You don't know how much oil they're putting in your food. You don't know how much sodium you're putting in your food. There's no way for you to account for the calories that you're eating. So there's no way for me to sit there and help you lose weight.
Exactly.
Just because the meal says it's got, it's a 400 calorie meal, you don't know how much oil's in there. You don't know how much salt's in there. You don't know none of those things. And they're not going to tell you.
Exactly.
I was just like, I told her, I had to turn her around. I was like, I can't help you.
I would say the same shit.
If you want to take this process and you want to eat out every single day, because she's not cooking. She wanted to eat out every single day. If you want to eat out every single day, I can't be your coach. I don't want to be your coach because I'm not going to let you do that to yourself.
I'm going to say you go find somebody to do it.
I'm not going to do it. She really thought I was going to sit there and every single time she went to a new city, figure out what restaurants were in the city for her to eat at. Is that not the craziest thing you ever heard? I was just flabbergasted. Like, you paying me to train you, not to do research for you. That's just crazy. And it was rude too. What is the best way to lose fat? Diet. Shoulders never seem to grow. High reps, low reps, heavyweight, lightweight, what works?
Are you consistent?
So I need to know how many days a week are you training your shoulders? Shoulders are a small muscle group. So are your shoulders...
Are you engaging them? Are you properly doing the shoulder workouts?
I wish I could see what this person looked like. And then the other thing is he may be putting muscle on, but his body fat percentage might be too high to see it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not that your shoulders aren't growing, it's that you're not lean enough to see the results. You might have some nice muscle underneath your fat, but you just don't know it. So if your diet is not complementing your goal or your workout, then, no change in your exercise is not going to help at all. You can't exercise away fat. You got to fix your diet. Are there any good questions in the comments still, Bashir?
I can't even see them.
Slim down these thunder thighs and get a underbutt. Diet. And I think that people make a mistake of the word diet. When I say diet, I think that they think we're talking about like the Atkins diet or the water diet or the juicing diet. That's not what diet means. Diet is simply what you put in your body. That's your diet.
Mm-hmm.
You have to change your diet. We're not talking about a specific diet of some sort, like you need a juice every day. No, that's not what we're saying. You have to change your diet, though. You have to be in a caloric deficit. That's what I mean when I say diet. If you're overweight and you want to lose weight, you got to be in a caloric deficit, period. Change your diet. I can't see that far away. You know I'm blind. Ryan. I want to go back and look at that. Okay, I can see now. Is it raining? Is it possible to lose belly fat, lose your belly after a C-section? Of course it is. The answer's still the same though. It's diet. You have to be in a caloric deficit. If you've never taken the time to calculate your macros and follow them, and you need to stick to your macro calculation for at least a week to see if it's giving you results. If it doesn't give you results after a week, then, or maybe two, then you adjust it a little bit. Lower your carbs a little bit. Don't lower everything at the same time because then you won't know what the problem is. Lower your carbs or raise your protein or something like that, and then go from there. And then for the next week, see how that goes. But you can't like Monday, Tuesday, eat this amount, and then Wednesday, it's not working, and then try to change it some because you'll never know. Because 3,500 calories equals 1 pound of fat. You have to finish the week first to be in that deficit consistently in order to know if that macro calculation worked for you. You'll never know if you don't finish the week on a consistent basis. So if Monday and Tuesday you did good, Wednesday you messed up, Thursday you did okay, Friday you messed up, Saturday, Sunday you just did whatever you wanted to do, that was a bad week. Start over next week. Because you're not gonna get good results. You can't have 2-3 cheat days out the week and then say the diet didn't work. Well, of course it didn't work because you cheated all week. So, and that's the problem with some clients. They like to say, "Oh, this trainer gave me a diet that didn't work." Blah blah blah. The diet worked fine. You just didn't do it. It's not enough to get the diet printed out and look at the paper. Or most of them don't even do that. They don't even look at the damn diet.
Mm-hmm. Don't read thoroughly.
Don't read diet period. Don't ever buy it with a food scale. I've had clients before who don't even have a food scale, and that's how I know damn well the diet ain't working. If you don't own a food scale, but you think you're on a diet,
over there guesstimating.
I don't even think they're doing that. I think they're just eating. Okay, Ravy's sleepy. She been working all day. She's gonna go to bed.
They gonna FaceTime me when she get out this live though.
Yeah, I'm gonna FaceTime her anyway. But anyways, it's good talking to y'all because I'm gonna go too. And but I'll save the live if it lets me. I don't know what the hell. I couldn't save it last time. I don't know what was going on. It was weird.
It was going live with too many people.
Maybe that's what it was.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll do it again, y'all. But anyways, we love y'all. Oh, boot camp.
Flowers dropping tomorrow.
Okay, flyers going up tomorrow. The boot camp is on the. What's wrong with my thing? Like 10 days. 30th. So not this Saturday, but next Saturday. We're having a boot camp. All right, y'all. It's going to be here in Atlanta, Georgia.
Turn on post notifications.
Please turn on your post notifications so that y'all can get our post notification and get our posts. Y'all can show up to the boot camp, show support. We're going to be doing a donation for No Kid Hungry.
No Kid Hungry Foundation.
Yeah, the No Kid Hungry Foundation. And that's just our goal. So you pay for the boot camp, or you can bring a donation, like non-perishable item or whatever, and then $10 to the camp or whatever have you. But we'll have bands for y'all to wear when you get to the camp, and I'll be giving away some shirts. We'll have resistance bands there that you can purchase as well, because I know a lot of people can't find any right now, but I'll have them. They'll be like $5, simple stuff like that. So you can add the resistance bands to your workout, do whatever you want. But anyways, I love you guys. I appreciate y'all asking all the questions because I love hearing from y'all and talking to y'all. And I hope we were able to answer the questions for you.
Yeah.
Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.